to the draw phase, then the standby phase, then you'd go to your main.
Oh, but it says the second standby phase.
Right, so when you activate Future Fusion, you have to wait till, not your next turn, but the following turn standby phase for you to fusion summon the monster.
So you have to destroy your stuff, and then this sits there, and then the next turn you get the monster?
The second turn, yes.
The second turn. I'm thinking the turn after you play this.
It's the second turn after you play.
So your opponent's standby phase? No, it's yours.
No.
It says your.
It's yours. Yeah, so you would play this. So you would play this card. Your opponent gets a turn, comes back to you. That's your first standby phase. Then your opponent gets another turn, comes back to you again. That's your second standby phase, of which this effect would resolve and you would get your guy.
So you have to send the stuff to the graveyard and then go 2 turns before you get the monster. Am I seeing that right?
That's correct.
But you would be able to attack with it.
Summoning Sickness.
That feels really slow for a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Keep in mind, though, you can send them from the deck. For typical fusion summoning, you have to have the materials either in your hand or on the field.
Oh, send from your deck to the... Oh, you're not down any material then.
Now he's putting it together.
Oh, that's cheating. Pay the cost. What do you guys have against paying for anything? You guys must hate taxes. Oh my god. I get it now.
Do you? What do you get?
From deck to the graveyard is yeah, that's much different. So you play this, you search your deck for the thing probably, unless you got unlucky and drew it in your hand. But you play this, you search your deck, and you throw it in the graveyard. Or, like, maybe you keep the one in your hand and you throw away another one that was in your deck.
Well, it has to be from deck. Future Fusion
has to be from deck.
I will let you know.
Okay.
Cyber Dragon was at 3 copies, so you would have to have all 3 Cyber Dragons in hand.
Yeah, I was trying to remember when we covered that if it ever got banned. I thought it got banned.
It never got banned.
It never got banned.
Level 1.
Okay. It get restricted? I'm making that
up. It might have. I will let you know during this time when this card was legal. It was not restricted.
Okay.
Cyber Dragon and this card were all printed around within not long of one, obviously, because they kind of all go together.
And we've talked about removing spell cards, and it's possible but not common. It does, like, there is kind of, this is a blinking red light of the game is going to end, or something terrible is about to happen to you. Like, it's not that...
There are plenty of ways to remove spells and traps, yes. It is interactable. It's not impossible to destroy this.
Okay, and then, when it does summon this thing, so I'm thinking, this by far the best thing you can get. The +1 machine monster. Read the first card again. Search for fusion material monsters that are listed on a fusion monster card. What's listed is Cyber Dragon and a +1 machine monster. Does that mean you can search for any machine monster?
Yes.
From your deck and put it into your graveyard? Which is like a second hand? Oh no! How many can you get? It's 1 or more? You can get a lot then, right? By that logic? You can get as many as you want? Well, I mean, that definitely means that the Chimera Tech, when it does come out, will end the game. But I'm guessing this means you end the game way before that. I'm guessing this means you pack your graveyard and find ways to pull everything you need out of it. I'm guessing that you are using the Chimera Tech Overdragon as a Trojan horse. Right? Because it's there, you now have access to do whatever the hell you want with Future Fusion. Is this line of text on the Overdragon is it common to see other cards that say things like +1+ machine monsters?
In older Yu-Gi-Oh, no. Nowadays, it's a lot more common that monsters in the extra deck have become much more generic. You can notice how we started with fusion monsters that require very specific monsters, and now we're getting into like semi-generic, where it might require one monster, but now they're being lenient with some of the other monsters that are part of it.
Okay. I might be going off the deep end here.
Okay,
let's give it a try.
Let's give it a shot.
So, back in the day, you could ban the Overdragon and basically make Future Fusion a reasonable card if the other things it could fetch weren't nearly as, like, I go through my deck and I pull out every freaking thing that I could possibly need, and then I spend the rest of the slots in my deck to bring them back to the battlefield and win the game. Right? So if there weren't other ways to get the kind of any number of machine monsters like that this provides, back in the day maybe you could ban this card and it solved your problem. And then as more cards were printed and wanted to be printed, the real problem was that like Future Fusion then restricted their play space, I guess the developer play space, and then maybe they came around to Future Fusion has to be banned, and then we can print all these other weird generic kind of bigger cards like you were talking about. So I think there's a legitimate chance that both these cards were banned. What we're talking about was just play this and fill up your graveyard with any number of whatever, just leaving whatever's left in your deck being ways to abuse that sounds completely busted. There's probably all kinds of toxic things you can do with that. Sounds absolutely stupid. It had to be stopped. That can't just be a normal part of the game. So the Over Dragon might have been banned back in the day, only for Fusion to be banned later. And I'm just going to stick to my story. That's my story. That's what happened. That these have both been banned at some point.
Now, you talked about how with Future Fusion, you're sending the materials, you're just winning the game automatically. The fact that you get the Chimera Tech 2 turns later is irrelevant, right?
Potentially.
Let me show you this card.
Overload Fusion. Spell card. Fusion, summon one Dark Machine Fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials mentioned on it from your field or graveyard. Oh! So you can just take all of your monsters out of your deck. Yep. Okay. Ding, ding, ding! You did it.
Didn't expect I'd brick so
I bet you
hard.
did it again and
Nobunaga
again, didn't
might
you? You
not
did
be
it at the
seeing
tournament
play
all
again.
day. You did it, Yu-Gi-Oh! You did it.
I still have my second
Fine.
one as long as it's not
These are fine
buried.
cards to exist. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Keep in mind, these cards were released in, like, probably year 4, year 5 of Yu-Gi-Oh's lifespan.
When the play, over the Play Designs holiday break. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Mm-hmm. That's fine. Anyway, yeah. What got banned? I'm dying to know.
Well, what do you think? Overload Fusion was part of that equation either, or no? Just
did Overload Fusion have to be banned? You have to banish the materials mentioned on it from your field or graveyard. So unlike this is kind of the downside I was automatically reading into Future Fusion, but was wrong to do. Because you have to have the things. The things have to be in your graveyard or on the field for this to do the thing. This have to be banned.
I already said you think the first two needed to be banned.
I mean, I told myself a story. Okay, I wrote a little narrative. Where does this fit into the narrative? This one is more open-ended. It can work with more different things. It also kind of gives you a reroll, right? Because if you maybe like summon something the first time, like the Cyber Twin Dragon, like sacrifice both of those, and then you play this with the Cyber Twin Dragons in your graveyard and you get another one.
Well, you can't summon Cyber Twin because it has to be a dark machine.
I mean, okay. Can we pretend it was just for?
Sure, for the sake of argument, sure.
So that would work the way I'd say, like basically you double dip on the materials.
Hypothetically, yes.
I mean, that still seems really good based on the monsters you've shown me. Dark Machine monster. Dark is pretty powerful and learned last time pretty prevalent.
Let's say for the context of this is exclusively for Chimera Tech Over.
So if I summoned it this way, I mean, yeah, then it just like wrecks the opponent's field and possibly kills the opponent.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gross. This is also gross. I imagine that there's a lot of. I mean, you can run 3 Cyber Dragons, and I imagine there are a lot of machine monsters. So getting those isn't too hard. If you double dip on your on the Over Dragon, that's okay. If the Over Dragon did get banned, though, you wouldn't have to worry as much anymore. Like maybe they wouldn't have to ban this card. Maybe not. Are they going to ban the dragon, or are they going to ban the cards that cheated out? Oh, it's the classic chicken and the egg. I think because you have to already acquire the materials and do the thing, I don't think Overload Fusion is as busted. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Overload Fusion was they wanted this effect. They put it on multiple cards. They want it to be a part of the game. I'm going to say they let Overload Fusion pass.
Okay, so Chimera Tech ban, Future Fusion ban, Overload not banned. Final answer?
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about these cards. Oh boy. So this was the era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where machines dominated. So Cyber Dragon, as well as Cyber Twin and Cyber End, all came out in the same set together. A little bit later on, we got the set that released Chimera Tech Over Dragon, as well as Future Fusion. I believe it was Power of the Duelist, if my memory serves. So once people saw these cards, Overload Fusion, I believe, was also this. Once people saw these cards, their eyes
No,
lit up
god
like
damn it.
Christmas because they already could see the potential. The best part
Oh, no,
about
there
these
it is.
fusions, I don't want to say the best part, one of the best parts about these fusions, is that Cyber Dragon was already such a good card during this time that you were already going to play Cyber Dragon in most decks, whether you were going to play any of this nonsense or not. So the fact that you just now had to lend yourself into playing a machine-oriented deck was totally fine, because Cyber Dragon's already a machine, it's one of the best cards in the game, and not to mention, there was plenty of other good machine cards that provided a lot of really strong value. Just to name a few for the people watching, Dekoichi, Cyber Phoenix, Card Trooper, all of these cards, when they died, drew you a card. And as you know in Yu-Gi-Oh!, drawing a card is, like, very good, just because card draw is kind of, like, few and far between. I said Dekoichi flips and draws you a card, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Point being, there was a lot of good value in the machine engine during this time. And Chimera Tech Over Dragon plus Future Fusion, plus Overload Fusion, was really the glue that sort of cemented this deck together. This was by far and away the best thing you could have been doing during this period, because they called it Future Fusion, Overload Fusion combo. If you open both of these cards, you basically win the game automatically. How this would work is Future Fusion, you would reveal Chimera Tech, and you would send every single machine monster in your deck to the graveyard, or as many as you want. Basically, you're just looking to game shot your opponent. So at the minimum, you would have to send 10 different machines, one of them being Cyber Dragon.
Kaya akala ko konti yung kanin ka. Okay. Doesn't really matter. I know they have one more defense and I most likely lose. Oh,